All right, Mike. So we were talking about this a little bit before we even started the show, but what is your favorite board game?
Mine?
Yeah.
Which, man, I'm really mad I got rid of it. I used to have, so, first off, my favorite game and my family's is, I would say my family, because we play it all the time, but it's Clue. But, man, I had the Simpsons edition one when I was maybe in a teenager, early 20s probably.
Yeah.
And, man, I didn't respect it at the time. Man, you know how much they're selling that Simpsons one for?
I'm guessing it's probably like a collector's edition.
Yeah, man, at least over 120 I think they're selling it for. But fuck, man, but Clue, best game ever.
Clue is a good game. I used to like that game a lot. Did you ever play, it was
Connect 4.
not Connect 4. I actually played a lot of Connect 4 when I was in Thailand.
Yeah.
That is like the only game they want to play over there. So you know what I'm saying? Like you'll just walk down.
I was watching this show and they called it the poor man's chess.
Yeah. And they would literally challenge you, like the people like they'd be like, hey, if you beat me at Connect 4, or if I beat you, then you buy me a drink. Remember that? It's like that type of bullshit.
No.
But yeah, and they were good.
They should start having those in the bars.
Dude, they were so good. You remember at the bar, there was actually this fun game. It was at the Irisher. Remember the Irisher?
Where was the Irisher at? What country was the Irisher?
It was in the U.S. It was at Seal Beach.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, then, shit, everybody, all the way down at the end of the strip.
Yep.
Yeah,
and they had a game there that I really liked to play, and it was literally just like a ring, right? It was like a ring tied to a string. And that was it. Yep, just throw it onto the hook.
They sell them shits. I just saw it somewhere in some store. Maybe JCPenney's.
Dude, that game is so fun when you're a little bit like intoxicated.
Man, so I saw this dude.
Really
I went to the bar the other day, and so what the guy did, you know how you always throw it like this, the ring and the hooks? He stood by the hook to his back. He threw it this way so it comes back to him. And I was like, that's fucking genius.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's no rule that says you can't do that. It's literally just... I don't know. Some places have the tape on the floor, though, like to stand behind the tape.
What's that?
I've seen places that have like the tape on the floor, so like it makes you stand behind the tape.
Yeah. But no, he did that shit. I was like, I never thought about it.
Yeah,
that's fucking genius.
Yeah, no shit. Damn. That dude's obviously been to that bar many a time.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got his own little method of doing things.
It's probably named after him.
But when it comes to actual board games and not just like games, like weird games like that, I'm an old, like, I'm just a fan of Monopoly, honestly. Like, I've always loved house rules.
I just feel
Monopoly.
like Monopoly just takes too long.
It does take a long time, but I mean, if you can input rules that keep it from taking so long, then it can be pretty fun. Because, like, Monopoly literally can take, like, 6 hours.
Hell, I was telling you that they got an app for Monopoly that people are going crazy over. I think it's called, like, Monopoly Go or something, or Monopoly Now.
Yeah, I might have to check that out, because you mentioned that before.
People are talking about it.
Sounds pretty good to me. Like, I would definitely play with it.
We got to play this game called, it's almost like Pictionary, but it's called Telestrations. And Telestration, me and my kids, they go, my daughter, my middle child, she goes out and just buy random games, like, oh, we're playing this. And some of them turn out pretty fun, but Telestration, I was like, man, this is so stupid. But so what it is I write something like, you get a group, let's say it has to be like, they tell you if it's even or odd. They tell you if it's odd, you have to do it this way. If it's even, you do it this way. But what it is I write a sentence, and I close the book, and I hand it to the person next to me. They look at my sentence, they have to draw what my sentence say. And then so after they're done drawing it, we also get time too. And then, so after time runs out, they close it, they hand it up, that person has to look at that drawing. He has to, on the next page, he has to write what he thinks that drawing is. And it has to go all the way around. You just see how fucked up people got you damn picture. Like, this is nowhere near.
At all you would try and
when my family do it, we all make fun of our French bulldog. Because we just like, this dude's crazy. He's like in every story.
Respect. That kind of reminds me of a game my friends and I would play growing up. And I'm talking like maybe early high school. We would each... Well, oh, dude, I got a crazy Ouija board story.
I went to jail because of one of them.
But no, it was literally like, it was kind of dumb. Like all we did was like take just a sheet of paper, and someone would write a sentence, right? And then the next person would write, connecting information to that last sentence. But you wouldn't read any further back than just one sentence back. So when you have like 10 people writing a story, basically, when you only read the previous sentence, like you end up with some funny ass shit because none of it makes sense at all.
We did that as a project in one of my classes.
Really?
Yeah, I told you I take easy classes. I think I was taking an art class.
What type of school were you in?
And it was just like an opening to. It was like the first day of class. The teacher was like, "Hey, get a sheet of paper. I want y'all to write something. Pass it down." And they had to complete your sentence. And, like you said, just come out with crazy shit.
Yeah, that's funny. Afterwards, did you guys like make macaroni necklaces or anything like?
No, that's an advanced class.
Oh, okay. That was...
I didn't take 201.
You stopped at the 100 course.
Yeah, I didn't have the money to pay for all the supplies in that class.
Yeah, pasta got expensive, and glue is pricey.
I told you I made a fucking spaghetti teepee or whatever, spaghetti noodle teepee.
I forgot about that.
Hey man, these hard classes I take.
Yeah, good shit.
But no, Ouija board. Yeah, is that real?
Dude, all right. So this has nothing to do with board games, really.
It's a board.
I guess it is
well, actually,
a board.
It's made by, like, what's the brands that make board games? Like
I don't
Mattel
know,
or some
Mattel
shit like that?
possibly, or I forgot what the other one was. It's like Mattel and somebody else.
I think like Mattel made like board games and
Hasbro maybe? Maybe Hasbro?
Yeah, I know the Hasbro made Ninja Turtle and shit.
I don't remember who made the Ouija board. But I do have a crazy Ouija board story. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll just tell you the story.
Okay, bye. We got time.
So, when I was in middle school, it was the beginning of high school. It was like very early on in high school. I had just moved to new neighborhood, so I, just met a couple people and throughout the grade or whatever.
Met the cult.
I didn't meet a lot of people though.
You got into a cult?
No. But the thing is, like I was saying, like I didn't know a ton of people. I had a group of friends, sure, but I didn't know like everybody, But basically, these two girls in one of my courses, back then we used to have like sheets of paper that would have everybody's phone number on it, right? So if you needed to contact somebody else in the class, they had your phone number.
Good old buddy system, man.
Yeah, we just had it like that, right? That's just how they did it. So these girls had my phone number because of that. Like I didn't give it to them. They just had it because everybody in the class had this sheet of paper with everybody's contact info.
Yeah.
So one day I get a call from them, and they were hanging out, and they were like, "Hey, listen, your name just came up on a Ouija board." And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here. Like, this is some crazy bullshit."
Yeah.
And
I guess I'll come over. Is your guys way to get me to come over? I guess.
So they told me, they're like, "Yeah, your name popped up on this Ouija board." I was like, "All right, whatever, bullshit, right?" And then they're like, "Do you want us to like talk to whoever this is?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then they told me, like, the first thing they told me that it said back was like, "Who is this?" And it was like, it says Mom. And there was no way that these girls knew that my biological mother had passed away, because I never fucking talked to them ever. And if they even met like my family, I was adopted by my aunt and uncle, and I always introduced them as my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to explain to everybody that this is my mom, this is my aunt and uncle. I was like, "Yeah, this is my mom, this is my dad," whatever, right? Especially to two random ass girls in my class, like, what the hell? Yeah. So the fact that she was like, they said it's your mom, I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, all right, well, I'll play along, right? So I was like, ask her.
Scammers,
I said, ask her your name, like what her name is, right? And she has, and I'm not going to say it, but she has a extremely unique name. Like, I've never met anybody else in my entire life with the same name as my biological mom, right? And these two girls told me my biological mother's name. And why how in the hell would they, know that my mom had passed away and know her name?
How far did they live from you?
I don't know, probably like 15 miles. Like, it was pretty far. But for them to even know that information, like, is crazy, right? It just blew me away. Yeah. And then, so it gets better. So after they told me the name, I was already like, at that point, I was like fucking shaking, right? I was like, this is crazy, because none of it made any sense. And then I asked it, or hey, what's your favorite food? Like, what was ask her what her favorite food was. And the response it got back was corn, right? And I was like, what the fuck, corn? I was like, I don't remember anything corn. And keep in mind, my mom passed away when I was very young. I was like 5 years old when she had passed. Yeah. So there wasn't a ton I remembered about her, you know, other than just small images here and there. So I was like, corn, that just didn't make any, like, it didn't click for me, like, what the hell that meant. But keep that in mind for later on, right? Corn.
Okay.
And so I was like, all right, well, how old was she when she passed? And they told me how old she was when she passed. And I was like, again, I started like fucking like getting like nervous, like kind of like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. And then the thing is, like, it was kind of an emotional thing, you know? So like I started tearing up, but back then we were on our fucking phones like a house phone, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hardline.
Yeah, it was exactly. So it's not like we weren't FaceTiming, like that wasn't a thing, you know, like they couldn't see me or anything like that. Like I wasn't sobbing like, you know, like she couldn't hear me or anything. Like it was literally just tearing, right? I started tearing up, and they told me, they were like, hey, the Ouija board just said don't cry, hugs.
Yeah.
How would they know I was crying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Over a fucking landline.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go. So that was the end of the conversation. Yeah. I talked to these girls later, and like I told them like what the hell that was. Like how did you fucking know this? And they were like, we're telling you, we're using the Ouija board. We don't have like a fucking secret file on you or anything like that. Yeah, like we literally were just playing with this Ouija board and you came up. And I was like, wow, that is absolutely bonkers. So yeah, that's my Ouija board story. But real quick, before I drop it, remember I told you to remember the corn thing, right?
You're related to that kid. Is that where this is going?
It turns out he's the reincarnation of my mom. Yeah, my mom is actually an 8-year-old black kid.
Song a long time ago.
For me, I really like corn.
My mom always wanted to be reincarnated as the 8-year-old black kid who loves corn. No, but yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
We were on to something.
No, so I asked one of my cousins who's significantly older than me, who was actually friends with my mom, because they were around the same age, right?
Yeah.
So I asked him, I said, hey, listen, like if you could say one thing that my mom was always, like what's her favorite food? You know? Like what would you say her favorite food was? And he was like, oh, popcorn. Just immediately. Popcorn.
Yeah.
That was it. She was always snacking on popcorn. And I was like, you gotta be goddamn shitting me right now.
No shit.
Yeah. So that's my Ouija board story. And
so you never messed with a Ouija board?
No, me personally, no.
Yeah. Damn.
No, never ever.
The
Ouija board messed with me over the fucking phone.
Yeah.
You have? You've
I
actually
one before and fucking supposedly we were talking to Al Capone.
What?
And it's just weird. Oh man, this shit's fake. And then so like I said, nothing interesting happened. We're just like, hey man, where'd you hide all your fucking money and shit like that? We couldn't get no answers and shit. And then so you're supposed to say like goodbye to the spirit on the little thing. Well, so we were sitting there, and me and my buddies, there's 3 of us that were touching it in the little piece, and then everybody else was like, drinking, playing dominoes and shit like that. And then so one of my buddies got up to go play dominoes. We're trying, hey man, let's fuck with it again and see if this shit's real. We went and it's still Al Capone. They were like, why are you still here? Well, you're supposed to say bye. And then so me and my buddy, we said, okay, bye, take it easy, stuff like that. And then we go back on to mess with it again. He's still there. We're like, what are you doing? And then so my buddy that's playing dominoes was like, hey, Rob, get over here. You got to say bye. Then motherfucker grabs a piece, bye, and just throws it back down. Fucking me and my buddy that said bye first, we got arrested that weekend. And then my buddy that just threw the piece down and said bye, he got in a car accident.
Are you serious?
Yeah, supposedly like you're something like if you don't say bye to the spirit, man, like it gets upset or something like that. We got arrested me and my buddy at Mardi Gras for underage drinking. Who the fuck gets arrested for underage drinking?
At Mardi Gras.
At Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's pretty funny. Yeah,
that's all.
That's ridiculous.
Like I don't know, like them shit's gotta be real.
I honestly believe they're real primarily just because of my own experience with
that's
them.
crazy. That story right there is crazy. You
Yeah.
should make a movie. We should make a movie about it. I'm sure they got Ouija board out.
I think there is a movie called Ouija. But yeah, man, that's not my favorite board game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no.
For obvious reasons. Much more prefer Monopoly.
And then you hear about other people's stories about Ouija board. Like, there's some crazy stories out there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, I don't know if I believe in like heaven or hell or anything like that, but I definitely think that I think energy sticks around afterwards, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that energy is what you end up talking to through those things.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know, but I'm not like an extremely spiritual person or anything like that.
Nah,
but I know when I'm scared, I'm fucking scared, and that scared the shit out of me. So, yeah, that was it. So, yeah, my favorite board game is not Ouija boards.
Yeah.
That's my answer, not Ouija boards.
I wonder if anybody out there, y'all mess with that Ouija board?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so if you've actually messed with it, let us know and tell us your stories in the comments down below. We love to hear it.
Yeah, or what's your favorite board game? Better not be Ouija board.
Either one.